This is the Life Wisdom Conference where we learn how to put up the right attitude that will lead us to success in the future, both the near future and the future that is quite far off in many years to come. And I'm glad to see you all here this afternoon. And this afternoon in Ghana, and I know it's morning in other places and evening in some other places. Wherever you are, receive my greetings. So this is the 6th episode of the Life Wisdom Conference, and we have been through 5 strong episodes. Today we are going through the 6th episode, which is titled Jews and the Wisdom of Prudent Frugality. Jews and the Wisdom of Prudent Frugality. I always speak about a certain scripture, but today, for the sake of time, I wouldn't go through it. I say that I'm a person of faith. That is why that scripture is there. But what that scripture is there to show is the essence of learning from anything or any kind of person. Once the wisdom is picked up, there's no error. So you shouldn't allow religion, you shouldn't allow tribal biases, you shouldn't allow racism and all that to prevent you from learning wisdom from something, even enmity. I have a special wisdom conference that went on where it spoke about benefiting from an enemy. So even an enemy can teach you wisdom. And so those that do not understand why the scripture is down there can look at our previous episodes and you will know the details of that scripture and its essence in all my slides. So our wisdom model for episode 6 is, or are, no, I should say is, the Jewish nation, the Jewish group, the Jewish religion, the Jewish people. Now the Jews, they are a combination of different things. Some people actually call it an ethno-religious group because they are a religion, they are a people, they are an ethnic group and all what you would like to end. They are also kind of a nation also. And Jews date back to a very about should I say over 4,000 or more years ago. So many years ago, that is where the Jews came from. Many of the tribes and ethnic groups present today, apart from some few, many of them are descendants of some older tribes that do not exist today. But the Jews have existed since. I know about the Chinese, I also know about Russians and these Arabs also. Putting that aside, why do we choose to make the Jews our wisdom model for today? It's simply because the Jews have been phenomenal when it comes to success. When we speak about success in the whole wide world, it's the Jews that make that word what it is. It is said that when you hear the name Jew, certain things come to your mind. For example, when you hear the name Jew, you immediately certain words start coming to your mind: doctor, businessman, rich man, entrepreneur, this, that. Those are the terms that come to mind when for people who know Jews. I'm sure many of you present might not even know Jews or might never have met any Jew, but Jews have such characteristics. And for some of you, you might decide to say, um, maybe the Jews are blessed of God, and so that is why they are the way they are. Yes, that is a possible fact. But what about somebody who does not believe in God or something? But how do we account for it? Well, that is not to say that we have to think about that aspect. But the reality is that there is an attitude that the Jews put up because they are believers, they are Christians and Muslims and other people who believe in God but are seriously poor. They are so poor that you would never like to even, if you hear that this person is a Christian, you would never like to be a Christian. Or if you hear that this person is a Muslim, you would never like to be a Muslim because this person is poor. But there are other people that you see them and you like to become one of them. And one of those religions is Jews. When you hear Jew, there's nothing like poverty that will come to your mind. Of course, there are a few exceptions, but about 80 to 90% of them are successful in life. Now you should look at this. Forbes is a company that ranks people's net worth. And just like US News that ranks schools, or QS that also ranks universities and all that, they rank them using certain criteria. This group Forbes, they rank world's richest men. And among the world's richest men, there are so many Jews on the list. I'm telling you. If you don't believe, you can go and check it now. I can post the link into the group for you personally to go and check it. There are so many that I just picked the top 15 or 16 of the richest Jewish people or richest Jewish billionaires in the world. And this is in $1 billion, the amount that you see there. Larry Ellison, Larry Page, Mark Zuckerberg. How many of you knew that Mark Zuckerberg is a Jew? Sergey Brin. You know, the owners of Google, Facebook, Dell, is it Oracle? Many companies are Jews. You know, there's this saying that a lot of America's wealth comes from Jews, and that is why America has a soft spot for Jews. Well, I'm not here to speak on that topic, so I wouldn't go into that. But many of the Americans that are very rich are Jews. These are the very popular names of the Jews that are rich with their net worth in billions of dollars, not millions, billions. And so the question I ask myself is, I am a Ghanaian. I don't know about you listening to me. Maybe you are a Nigerian. Maybe you are from Tanzania. Maybe you are listening to me from UK. You are listening to me from Germany. You ask yourself, how many of your country's people have a net worth that is in a billion, just $1 billion US? 1 billion US dollars. How many people in your country can boast of such an amount of money? Then that tells you that your country altogether, you don't have anything to say when it comes to financial success. But this is a whole nation or a whole group of people, a whole tribe, a whole religion, a whole ethnic group that can boast of many people. There are about 400 names that are billionaires. I'm telling you, I just picked the top because a lot of them are billionaires in the single digit range. These are the top squad with 2 and 3 digits. And it's just because their shares have gone down a little in the past 2 weeks. The financial market hasn't been so strong and been so stable. So I'm sure if you check today, there would have been a fall. So, for example, this 127 today, when I checked, it's 120. But as the market begins to take shape again, you see they'll get to 130 and 140 billion dollars. Elon Musk, the richest man, is around 295. Previously, he was at 318, but currently, because of the market, he too is down. And I ask myself, a whole nation, a whole group of people can boast of rich men as this, then I mean we need to look at what they are doing that is making them become like this. Then we as a nation, we as a group of people, we as a religion, whatever you see yourself to be, or your family, how you see it, then you ask yourself that, how can we also build our reputation like Jews have been able to? Hope you are following me clearly. So that brings us to our first wisdom lesson for today, and I'm sure many of you would have already started guessing that wisdom lesson. And that is the wisdom of prudent frugality. The wisdom of prudent frugality. When we say it's a combination of two words, prudent and frugal. So when we say someone is prudent, what does it mean? When we say someone is frugal, what does it mean? That's what you see on the screen there. A prudent person is one who is careful and sensible when the person is making a judgment. Okay, so you are careful and sensible such that you are able to make a sound judgment. So if you make a judgment which is sound, then we say you are prudent. You make a decision which is sound, then we say you are prudent. Then frugal has to do with spending. You spend such that you avoid waste. So my combination of the two words is saying that you are spending or making decisions concerning your spending such that you avoid waste. Now, what does this have to do with Jews? And why am I bringing it at all? Based on the little research that I've done concerning the Jews, you can actually take time to go and search for a book called The Jewish Phenomenon. And you get more details, and you can also do your own research to help you understand how important this is. You see, to become a successful person financially it's not only dependent on how much money you make. It is dependent more on how much you spend. Not necessarily how much, I mean how you spend. Okay. How you spend your money plays a great role in your financial success. That is a key that you should never forget from today's wisdom conference. The wisdom of prudent frugality. You can tell me this way. The wisdom of prudent frugality states that how you spend your money or your income is a great determinant of how successful you are going to be. I hope that is a very clear point. Sure, it's very good that you are following. Keep following and pay attention, because This is very important. Now, somebody decides right now, I'm sure somebody would have decided that if frugal means avoiding waste, then it means I'm going to be a miser. But I'm saying no. If you are frugal, it does not necessarily mean that you are a miser. And I have some comparison to make when we say somebody is a miser or somebody is cheap, or and then what it means when somebody is frugal, and then we make the comparison. But before that, let me give you a very good comparison. If you look at the lower part of the screen, I write that it is fair to define miserly, like the word miser, as going far out of your way to save very little. For example, now this is frugality. For example, if you are at a fast food restaurant and you order a small drink, knowing that refills are free, that is frugality. But and with that, it is easy to save money and it takes very little effort to get a refill. But on the other hand, if you decide to bath once a week or 2 times a week or 3 times a week with the mindset that you are saving water, soap, and expense and laundry expenses for towels, then you are a miser. Now, what is the difference between these two? You go to a bar, it's written there, or you go to Malcolm, they say Christmas bonanza, buy one, get one free. You want to buy a fridge for your father and your auntie, okay? And then you go to Malcolm, they say buy one, get one free. You needed two. So what do? If you're a frugal person, what do? You buy one and you get one free. Then you take one to your father, you take one to what is it called? Your auntie. What have you done? You have saved money, you have avoided waste of that money. But a different person would have gone to buy two, and they will still give him one free, because it's not buy two get two free. Once you buy, if you buy 10, you get one free. If you buy one, you get one free. If you buy 20, you get one free. So refills are free in this place, meaning that you are going to order a drink. A refill is free. So you buy half. After you drink the half, then you say you want a refill. Then they will give you a full one. So you drank 1.5, but you paid for half. That is frugality. That is not miserliness. But miserliness, you are just stressing yourself and stressing people just to save something small, saving water or saving money. And the person will stress everybody in the house or in the family or wherever, at the workplace, just to, especially if it's a company and your human resource manager or your administrator is a miser. Oh Jesus. You see the whole company, you'll be stressed out. But if that administrator is frugal, you see that it doesn't affect anybody. Let's come to the differences. You get to understand me clearly there. So when we say someone is cheap, the person only cares about the cost. He doesn't care about the quality. But with a frugal person, the person cares about getting quality at a lesser cost. What does it mean? If I have the money to buy a phone that is 1,000 Ghana cedis, a frugal person will buy the 1,000 Ghana cedis phone, knowing that it's going to be able to do what he wants it to do, and it will last. When it falls down, it takes time for the screen to crack, or even when the screen cracks, lines don't appear anyhow. The phone still works for months. But another person will say, why should I buy a phone 1,000 cedis? Even though he can buy it, he will buy a phone 200 cedis. The day he buys the phone, that week, the phone will fall down. Blue and purple and violet lines and green lines will start appearing on the phone. In 24 hours, the phone will go blank. Black dots will appear and the whole thing will move away. Then he'll be like, this phone is not good. He'll go and buy a different one. 300 cities. In 3 weeks' time, that one too is gone. He go and buy another one, 400 cities. Because he say that the 300 cities phones are not good. So he will go and change to another type of phone. And you continue like that, struggling with your life. That is a miser. And in the end, that person thinks he's avoiding waste of money, but he is actually wasting more money. That is actually what happens with miserliness. Miserliness, the difference between, in the short term, miserliness appears not to waste money, but it actually does. For example, I know a man who is about to roof his house. He can buy good zinc, but he refused to buy the good zinc. Not that he doesn't have the money, but it just pains him that the cost of roofing sheets have gone up, and he's annoyed. So he decides to go and buy the cheap one. It's not that he cannot buy he just doesn't want to spend the money. So he goes to buy the cheap one, and very soon it's going to get destroyed, and he will replace it again, and that will be, the cost is going to be almost 1.5 times him buying the good one, the quality one. That is bad. There are many of them that are there, but our time is moving, and so I would like to quickly just pick one or more things. Let me see. Well, you can find some time and then you go through it and you get a lot of understanding about frugality. So when I say you should be frugal, or the Jews are frugal, how are they frugal? They are frugal with their money, so you should also be with your time, with your brains or your mind, your talents. I'll come into the explanation of this. Be frugal with your opportunities. Be prudently frugal with your money, your time, your brains or your talents, your opportunities, and your resources. Because if you are frugal with all these things, then your success rate is going to change. It's going to increase exponentially. And I'll show you that shortly, especially being frugal with your opportunities and with your talents. You gain an opportunity to, say, raise your standard. You gain an opportunity to raise your pay, your salary, raise your income, and you don't take it. You are wasting the opportunity, and you are not being prudently frugal. And the Jews, don't joke with that. The Jews do not waste opportunities. They are frugal with opportunities, and they are frugal with their money. They are very frugal with their time also. I would have loved to give you an example, but I'll give you that example at the end. They are very frugal with their brains also. How are Jews frugal with their brains? How are they frugal with their talents? That leads us to the second lesson for the day. The wisdom of professionalism and entrepreneurship. The wisdom of professionalism and entrepreneurship. Now, if you look down, I have a statement there, or a quote, and it reads that mind, as the slogan goes, is a terrible thing to waste. It's a terrible thing to waste your mind. It's a terrible thing to waste your brains. Terrible thing to waste your talents, your skill, what is inside of you as a human being, aside your money, aside your resources. And another key statement is up there. It says that the mindset, now that is the definition for or the explanation. I gave you that for the wisdom of um, prudent frugality, and I said it states that something. Now, this wisdom of professionalism and entrepreneurship states that the mindset, okay, for success is the higher than average income mentality. What do I mean? The people in this world that we see engaging in different activities, different jobs, or whatever engagements that they are in that is bringing income. There are some jobs that pay much better than others. So we have low income jobs, average income jobs, or medium income jobs, and high income jobs. If you are the low income jobs, usually they are hard labor and all that. So you work, and then I'm in Ghana here, our currency is in cedis. So if you understand the cedi, maybe you'll be paid 10 cedis. You work and you get 10 cedis for the day. So it means that at the end of the month, you're getting somewhere 300 cedis. That is even if you are lucky and you get work every day. Or some people, it's a security man, it's a gate man, they pay him 300 cedis, 200 cedis. Some of them are paid 500 cedis. That is low income. Then we have the medium income, probably say those in Ghana, for the cedi, according to my rating, the medium income from somewhere around anywhere between 1,000 and 4,000 medium income. Even I can add 5,000, 6,000. It's medium income. It's the people with low income that see the people with medium income to be rich men. But the truth is, the people with medium income, they are not rich. That is the truth. Financially speaking, they are not rich men. If you take 5,000 at the end of the month, take this from me, you are not rich. You are not rich. Well, but in Ghana, is something that is fine because many people don't get that. So if you get 5,000, you're getting 6,000. It's good. That's a medium. But the high income from 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000. People take, I think the MPs or something, I'm not very sure, but many of them take more. I'm sure it's more than 50,000 or 60,000 or even 100,000. I'm not sure of the value, but those are high income jobs. CEOs of certain companies, they take as much as 200,000 Ghana cedis per month. I'm serious about it. CEOs of SNP, CEOs of, did I say CEOs? I mean, is it managing directors or whatever? But CEOs of ECG and some very big companies and hospitals do take huge salaries. And so the high income or the higher than average income mentality is the mindset that we are looking at here. One, we are talking about the wisdom of professionalism and entrepreneurship. Now, don't get me wrong and say that, oh, how can I become a CEO of this big company to get this amount of money? No, I'm coming down. So how do you get into this mindset? How do you move into this higher than average income mentality? That is where professionalism and entrepreneurship come into being. If you hear the word Jew, like I said the last time, what comes to mind is doctor, businessman, engineer, lawyer, pharmacist, those things. Continuing. If I have not mentioned it don't mean I don't mean those are the only four professions in the world. No. There are so many policemen. They are not the policeman on the street, because that one is not professional. There's professional policeman. There's professional chef, not the person who is selling fried rice by the roadside. No, there's a professional chef who, if you hear his income, you will not believe that that is the income of a chef. He's a professional chef. He cooks and collects money. Now, what does it mean to be professional? It means that if you're a professional, it means that you are engaged in a learned profession. It means that you went to acquire a certain special education to be at where you are. Example, pharmacist. You can't go and just be in the pharmacy store. Your father has a pharmacy, and then you, even though you are reading engineering, but every vacation or when you are in the house, you are around the pharmacy shop, and then you can sell the medicine. You know all the medicines and what they do and what they don't do, even the doses. If they ask you to give it, you give it. Master, you are not a professional. You are not a professional. There's no special education in it. And if you like, you can bet me that you can continue, or you will continue selling. If you decide to stay there, you will continue selling in that shop. So what? So your children come and meet you. The only thing that will save you is maybe you get a lot of customers, and that will not even change much about your income. You will still be at most an average income receiver. Hope you are getting me clearly and that you are following closely, because it's very important that you get this and get it well. And also, with entrepreneurship, I believe most of you already know it in one of the conference discussions. Many of you were asking entrepreneurship questions. It's simply being innovative and taking risk to start a business or something, and then you make profit from it. And I think in the fourth Wisdom Conference, where we dealt with the creator and the wisdom of diversity, we spoke about creation. I advised you all that entrepreneurship is a very good thing that you must go into. This is because now the world's richest men, in fact, if I take you back to this page, all the names you see here, they are all these billionaires. They are entrepreneurs. There is no doctor or lawyer or engineer or what among them. Well, the fact is that there is an engineer, there's a doctor probably among them. But what I mean is, don't get me wrong, what I mean is, it's not the profession itself that is bringing the money, is the entrepreneurship that he's applying to the profession that is bringing the money. Elon Musk, for example, he's an engineer, but it's not because he is working under NASA to build space this thing that they are paying him. No, he has his own space company. He has his own what is it called, company that is bringing the money in. So it's not even the fact that he's building the car that is bringing the money. No, it's the fact that he has shares in the company, and as the company is doing well and it's making money, because right now Tesla is now $1 trillion company. Like, it's in trillions. Their net worth is in trillions. And so his shares, he holding the largest shares there, meaning that he's also going to make a lot of money from it. That's the entrepreneurship, the business mindset there. So if you have that higher than average income mentality, then it means that you will be looking at professions that bring higher than average income. That's not to mean that some professions are not good. No, whatever profession that you are in, you need to target to become a professional in that field. And after becoming a professional, you add entrepreneurship to it. For example, you can become a professional and then in your field, then the high income that you are getting, you move it into probably real estate. So the real estate will now also start bringing some money. Then you buy shares somewhere. You do this, you do that. Or you can also start something of your own. It still depends on you. And that is the key to now getting a higher than average income. I hope we are clear with that. Then, now you look at this. From 1 to 65, they're just list of professions in the US, the higher than income professions. Please, the list continues, so don't think that maybe what you are doing or what you know is not part. There's from 1 to about 20 or something, they are just doctors. So family medicine physicians, family and general practitioners, other physicians and surgeons, psychiatrists, general internists, chief executives, nurse anesthetists. Yeah, anesthetists also make a lot of money. Special dentists. There was a particular list that I had that has had a lot of maxillofacial surgeons, those who do these facial surgeries and all that. There's a lot of money into it. You know, when somebody has a problem, usually they're asking for you to donate money so that they'll perform the surgery. At times you ask yourself where that money goes. A lot of money. And it goes to the doctors, even though some go to other places, but it goes to the doctors. They make a lot of money. Doctor, lawyers, engineers, CEOs, sales managers, administrators, economists, so many judges and optometrists, data scientists, political scientists. As for politicians, many of them, if you see a politician who is having money, he's either doing something else or he's a thief, stealing their money. And very good mathematicians, they also earn a lot of money. Well, for some of these things, maybe in your country, they might not apply because of corruption and other things. But you have to sit down and you think, whatever that you are in. For example, I was using the example of a chef. Don't be a street side chef, or maybe you are just doing something. No. Look at being professional or being a professional in your chef business or chef profession. So you can be a chef. You learn how to cook different kinds of dishes from different parts of the world. You know, I was watching something on a particular channel, and there was a restaurant, the world's most expensive restaurants. Okay. And for you to eat there alone, it cost about 500,000 US dollars. Listen to what I said. One meal, 500,000 US dollars. Because the food that is there and the kind of chef that is running that, you should know that that chef is a billionaire chef. He's a professional chef and he knows what he's about when it comes to what he's doing. Hope you are clear with how I'm moving, because that professionalism is very important. All right. That takes us to the final lesson for today. We are dealing with the wisdom of selective extravagance. When we say extravagance, it just has to do with sometimes some kind of overspending. Now, the word selective there, wow, I have an error there. That's quite unfortunate. But the word selective, I would like to replace it with the word prudent also. Like I spoke about prudent frugality, I want to speak about prudent extravagance. Why? Marked by sound judgment. That is why it's selective. Let me read what is here. Then I'll explain what I mean and how it relates to frugality, avoiding waste. Even though we are speaking about extravagance, that looks like a kind of irony. How can we be talking about frugality and we're talking about extravagance? Well, now, Jewish say this, that, or the Jewish people, they say this: I do not like to throw my money away, but when something is important to me, I want the best. Now, when it comes to education, Jewish students attend the expensive elite institutions in greater numbers than any other ethnic group in the world. With higher incomes and an understandable desire to live well, and a need for the best schools for their college-bound children, Jewish people spend money to move into more expensive neighborhoods. Look at this. You're prudently frugal. You're professional, helping you to earn a higher than average income. Like you're professional, or you're an entrepreneur, or you have combined the two. I actually believe in the combination because the combination helps in being frugal about time. Because if you're a professional and you earn a higher than average income, surely you are going to raise your standard very high. But when you are professional and you add entrepreneurship, you shorten the time by which you raise that standard. I don't know if you get me. For example, if you're going to become a billionaire, like earn 1 billion US dollars, like that's your net worth, and your target is 5 years, maybe let's say you are earning $100,000 every year. Oh no, let's say you're earning $500,000 every year, or no, even that one will be small. $1 million per year. That's your earning. That's quite high, but let me just say that's your earning for a year. It's going to take you a while to get to the 1 billion US dollars to be called a billionaire. You are a millionaire, but you're not a billionaire. However, if you add entrepreneurship to your professionalism, which is already giving you a higher than average income, then it speeds up and you become frugal about the time that it takes you to get to where you want to get to. So if it would have taken you 5 years, to take you 2 years or 3 years, or let's say if it would have taken you 20 years, because I know I'm talking to a lot of youthful people. Probably you are old and you are watching this or you are listening to me. You can sit down and devise your own thing. But you are a useful person, so you are thinking about the next 20 years, the next 30 years, I'm going to be a billionaire. And you are looking at a job or a profession, being a professional, that's going to help you with that higher than average income. It's going to take you about that 20 or 30 years to actually become a billionaire. That is even if it's possible, which is highly not going to be possible if you are in Ghana here. But if you add, entrepreneurship to the professionalism, then it brings it from somewhere 30 years to 10 years, or somewhere 30 years to 15 years. It doubles it. And that means you are being frugal about time, and you are applying the wisdom of prudent frugality. Okay. Now with selective extravagance, that has to do with, still under the wisdom of prudent frugality, but it deals with being prudent and frugal about your opportunities. Why? When you are selectively or prudently extravagant, it raises your standard. What do I mean? Certain positions are given to certain kinds of people. Never forget this. Certain positions are given to certain kinds of people. Certain awards are given to certain kinds of people. Certain rewards are given to certain kinds of people. Certain respects, certain opportunities are given to certain kinds of people. So until you appear to look like that, even if you are not like that, until you appear to look like that, there's no way you are going to get into that. For example, this is just an example. I don't mean to say anything, neither do I mean to say it's just true. But say there is an appointment that is supposed to be given. If you don't appear to fit that appointment, say they're going to give somebody the job of an ambassador, okay, or a minister. Good, a minister. You let's put politics aside. Sometimes there are a lot of corruption and favoritism in these things, so they give it to their own people and the people that they want. If you are not a certain kind of person with in a certain class, good, I think that's the word, you are most likely not going to be able to enjoy of such of such positions, because they are looking at a certain kind of people. And because number one, when you dress anyhow. Oh, you have the money, buy the nice clothes, wear the suit if you can afford a suit. But I'm not saying if you're a farmer, wear your suit and go to farm. No. But if you can afford it and it is not too expensive for you, and you're going to buy a car, why do you buy an old one? Buy a brand new car. That is, it looks like you have overspent when you would have bought a car for 5,000. You went and bought a 10,000 car, brand new. No, you have been throwing your money away, because one day there are certain places you can't drive that old car to. Well, immediately you get down from the car, if somebody wanted to grant you a certain opportunity that will lift you up, he looks at your car and says, no. Sometimes you might not take this serious, but I know what I'm saying. And after you gain some experience, that is, if you are a young person, you don't know about this, you will know how appearance is very important. Sometimes you need to wear a certain kind of suit. When you meet them, or certain people, they know that, no, this person deserves this kind of respect. He deserves this. And it is part of the success ladder. Sometimes people don't take notice of it. But that selective extravagance, it helps you and it raises you and opens opportunities for you. It's about 5 minutes to time. Usually Wisdom Conference is supposed to span an hour. And I would like to wrap up with this slide about German frugality. Now, In this slide, I spoke about being thrift or thrifty. Sorry. Look at the top right. You see a word thrifty. And the word thrifty means to be careful and diligent in the use of resources. To be thrifty simply means to be prudently frugal. And in Germany, if you don't believe me, go and check it. Germans are frugal. They are thrifty. In fact, the word thrift, to be thrift, is regarded as a virtue in Germany. Like if you go to let's say you are a believer, you are a Christian, a good Christian. The word virgin, how it is a virtue in some churches. No? In that same way, the word thrift is regarded as a big virtue in Germany. Germans value frugality like nothing else. If Americans are to design a laptop and Germans are to design the same laptop, they will finish and their laptops will have the same functionality. The German will spend 2,000 to produce it. The American will spend 5,000. This is in no way against any country if you are listening to me from anywhere. But just to emphasize the thrift in how they do their things. Germans save. They work to save. They don't want to avoid waste. When a German is producing a microprocessor, it takes his time to perform all the calculations and gets the minimum value or the minimum value of material that is supposed to be used, or the shortest path that should be taken to get it still functioning up to the requirement. But the America just looks at it, 5 will function, move it, zoom. So if you are very observant, many American stuff are very expensive. Like if you get 2 stuff, one is from Germany, one is from America, the one from America will be more expensive than the German one. Unless, of course, probably say an American company in Germany. But even with that, still, the difference still shows. If you do your research well, you agree with me concerning this matter. Now, with the respect to this, if a whole nation can value frugality as this, it tells us that, and Germany is a very successful country. Germany also has a lot of billionaires, many billionaires. Actually, at the time I was watching a documentary on the German billionaires, and I was intrigued. You know, I'm going to be a very big billionaire, and I know that most of you following this and practicing will also be great billionaires. So I follow things like this, and I try to find out what are they doing that people in Ghana or people in Nigeria or people in wherever are not doing, and we are learning, we are moving. So I've understood that prudent frugality is the key, and under that I have to be frugal with my mind, my talents, and so I have to be professional. I have to be an entrepreneur also if I can, and I have to understand that I have to be prudent and frugal with opportunities. How do I do that? Appear, expect that when the opportunity comes, it will not go waste. So I am selectively extravagant. There's a thing, for example, good. That reminds me. You know that a lot of rich men play golf. Now, if you know that a lot of rich men play golf, then it means that one of the best places to meet a rich man and talk about a business transaction is on the golf field. I'm giving you a very great key. So, and I just wanted to highlight that here. Rich men play golf, and one of the best places to meet them free playing golf is the golf field. And you can't just go there and then start talking to him. No, it can't happen. So what do? Learn how to play golf. If possible, spend the money to develop or get a golf field, or pay the money to join a golf club. I think there are clubs that you pay and then you join, and then you regularly go and play the golf. Pay the money, join the golf club. Then when the rich men come to play, you play with them. What have you done? You have made a connection. Wisdom of association out of the wisdom of selective extravagance. What happens? You'll be able to make a deal, strike a business contract with such a high profile personality, because you can't meet him anywhere else, because he doesn't know you. He will not listen to you, or it's highly probable that he's not going to believe you or take you serious. But he knows this guy has been playing golf with, and this person, and people play golf. There are a lot of things, characteristics about them. So he will take you serious. He will listen to you, and then from there you have built a connection, and you are on your way to success. I hope that helps somebody here. That brings us to the end of today's Wisdom Conference.